Hey everyone, and welcome to a new series of Transport Fever. We're in England having fun in the 1860s, back in the horse-drawn carriage era. This series will be Great Western Railroad focused. The plan is to build up a train network and try to make it, Great Western Railway themed. Lots of old stations, beautiful old trains from that era. We'll do lots of detailing along the way. We're not starting from scratch here. We're using the Transportvania map as the starting point, and it comes with a lot of these beautiful towns already built, and so we'll have a good starting spot. Let's have a bit of a zoom out as we work out where we are on the map. The map's got an extended list of manufacturing goods to use, so with lots and lots of complexity. Map isn't too big. Comes with all these beautiful farms, and so we should have quite a fun time getting the trains to wend around those valleys. My plan is to try to keep the trains as much as possible to the environment and no going through fields or anything like that. Big focus on doing a lot of detailing and making sure that these valleys get beautiful vistas as we go along with cargo and passenger trains. We're in 1860. We have $25 million in the bank, and we need to get started. There's a lot of diversity in the towns, and so I think we're going to be ending with quite a diverse train network, as the matrix of things going everywhere. In most series, I don't put these raw materials on the train lines or on the raw cargo lines, but I think with this map, that may happen a fair bit. So yeah, let's get started. I think the first goal is just to get something moving. We haven't got that much money, so I think we're going to go horse-drawn carriages and stuff like that at the start. I can see a wheat going over to this cow. So initially we should be able to get at least 100 out of this, and this will accept at least 200. So this might be a good starting spot. I think with all these series and all these save games, it's just a matter of jumping in and doing it. Eventually something's going to happen. We can go from here, across to here, then across to here, and then that meat is needed into here for bread, and that can go into there. So should we get started? We've got a lot of mods to celebrate. I've spent a lot of time going through the workshop and finding what would be suited for this. And so I think you'll find that nearly everything we use is actually going to be a mod. And so we'll make sure that we put the names along the way. So which direction are we going? So where was that thing? It was over here to the right. I'm just going to let it go down the natural streets. I'm not going to cut ways through. I want to keep these farms as much as possible. I will be also adding like hedges and stuff to make it look even more picturesque and stuff. The goal when it comes to production is to put the yard somewhere appropriate. So this particular mod is going to get used a lot. It's a cargo station, and it just is great. And let's start off. We'll give it a decent size. So wide or narrow platform. So we'll go narrow. It'll be on the ground, so if we did high, you get that like concrete thing, but I'm going to put everything on the ground. Just one, and we'll start with normal trucks. In this case, it'll be horses. 30 meters. Yeah, I think maybe 20 can go. And I don't think around the outside of the whole thing, I don't think we need a fence or anything. And so I think we can just go with none. And I think the ground can be, should we do the natural ground or should we put dirt down? Put some dirt down. So from this farm, I'm thinking like through here might be a natural low point. This way seems to have their fields in the way. So yeah, let's keep it away from this edge and go over here. My goal is to not make it, cut down too many trees along the way. But I think that's kind of good. So that can go there. And then over here, same deal. I think this one, this looks like an entrance. Maybe over here to the right, so we can probably squeeze this here. Bit of a collision, so we have to, where's the collision? If I make those tendrils a bit longer, does that help? Nope. So it's going to try to deform the land there. So let's just cut our losses and maybe put it over here. Actually over here, right over here. Yeah, something like that would do, and we'll make it not as long, nice and close to the road. Actually, we'll get a little bit not that close. And yeah, that will do, and we'll have our very first production chain. Let's make the line. So I like to go from where the material comes from to where it goes to. I think names of places, I think I may change them up. Let's rename this one to Tisdale. I'm going to try to change these to like British names. This map comes with names on it. I should between episodes I'll probably go round and change everything. So yeah, let's call this one Tisdale and Maybury. And so this will be the Maybury wheat. Maybury. And the question for the day is, how are we going to do our naming of our lines? I think I might copy what I've done in the past. And so this is just going to be a road, cargo, and then where we are, Maybury wheat. And so done. And let's get a place down, a depot down. I'm thinking kind of in town might be appropriate, but maybe inside a bigger town. I was kind of looking for a bigger town over here, but yeah, I think let's go over here. I think this will be fine. I'm not planning to do too much bulldozing of roads. I just want the places to grow organically. I think I'm just looking for somewhere kind of flat. Over here looks pretty good. It's untouched land. And yeah, let me just do a little bit of smoothing here just to make this a little bit more palatable. And let's get our first depot down. I think maybe on this road. Go right here in the center. And yeah, our first depot. So let's buy something. So it's going to be cargo and it's going to be a horse. I'm guessing this is going to be a fair way to drive. And so there we have it. Our very first creatures on the line. We can watch them come out. Hopefully they will make us some money. Definitely going to try to do a lot more cinematic shots in this series. I realized when I was doing the edit of the last series to do the autumn update, where I just didn't enjoy the early game lines enough. It was kind of missed the opportunity to see this older stuff transition. While we're here, I do want to do a little bit of detailing along the way. So as we touch towns, I want to do some stuff. So I've got a fair few assets lined up. They're all available in the link in the description to a workshop collection, a Steam workshop collection. So if you want to download these things, they're there. What I'm looking for, this is all the railway stuff we're going to have. It's going to look fantastic. A whole, old train stuff and a whole lot of buildings. And what I'm looking for, cargo, more buildings. What I'm looking for is this stuff, this old medieval stuff. And so what I want to do is, as we touch these corners, let's get some of this stuff placed. And so it just looks, actually we didn't get that very straight, did we? It just looks pretty good. A lot of these are quite big. I'm trying to find something a little bit smaller. And some things like nice churches and stuff. So yeah, we'll get all these down in towns and just make the whole place look nice and pretty. We probably need a couple more of these assets. I think I need to find some more. This is the medieval town mod, I think, I want to say. But let's get that down as well. Yeah, and we'll just build these places up as we go. And then under assets, where is it under? I think, yeah, this one. Let's put down a little bit of corn between those just to fill it in, make it look like it's a bit used up. And yeah, kind of matches the other side of the road. So let's have a look at that line. You guys are going to take a while to get over there. Their line is going to be good for a 28. It's going to want to be sending a lot more than that. We can see over here already that a lot's been built up. I really do like this depot. Nice and clean look. I think what I might do to get rid of that obvious green in and out there is do a little bit of painting here as well. So we'll use the paint tools and grab the dirt. Bring down the strength a bit so it's not 100%. We'll just fade this off. And then we'll make it nice and smooth. So it kind of looks like it should be there. So yeah, that would be our modus operandi. So just making it look a little bit more clean. These edges of the depot, we actually can control. It's under here. So we want, is there a country vanilla? That just makes them narrower. And what it does is it gives it kind of like this side thing. I don't think there's a dirt one under here. Country old? Oh, there you go. Country old. That's what we want. So nice old dirt road fading in. So there you go. So that's the first one done. And we'll let those guys come across. Yeah, they're slowly making their way. Actually, that's not the person. Where are they? So what is our route? Our route is... Oh, they're way over here. Yeah, it is through there. So, as much as I'm tempted to put a diagonal through there, but no, we'll just let it do its thing. Let's find something else to do. We could continue this across here, but I don't really want to do it until some supply has been built up. So let's find another one that's kind of easy. I've got an oil one here. That might be plausible. There's lots of oil into here. Good old wood is the other really common one. So wood goes into paper and wood goes into wood planks. There is a wood thing here. This might be a good chance for us to do our first tram line. A bit more capacity. And squeeze it in there. Yeah, so let's use our cargo trams for that, and then they can go down all the way over to there. So let's get down, I suppose, the roads first. And so we're going to be doing a road, and we'll turn it into a tram track, yes. And yeah, I suppose we can just do that, and down the hill. And we'll probably put it in the middle here, and they both can share it, I guess. What's the hill look like? Yeah, the hill looks okay. It's kind of smooth. Yeah, I think we can just put it out. No, we'll put it out here. We'll give them a dock right here. And all right, tram, turn it on, and then we'll make this a little bit longer, 40. And gotta get the collision to go away. Can we go that way a bit? Looks like it wants to be that way. There we go. And because of that, we don't really need that bit to have tram tracks. In fact, we actually can cheese it. Do we have one-way roads? We don't. We don't have one-way roads yet, but we could later on turn it into one-way. Let's get a depot down capable of doing that. So I have to be on the line. Yeah, I think somewhere around there looks okay. And we'll need another one at the other end. Where should we put it? I'm not too worried about extra distance. I want it to be somewhere kind of natural. Out the back here kind of makes sense, so it's kind of close. See if we can get one in there. So if we make it 30, does it help it any? There we go. We can squeeze it in there. There we go. Yeah, and what we can do is we can just smooth that across there. Assets, smoothing, and then what we'll do is we'll paint a little a little road through here to make it look, that's the way it's delivered. So yeah, this is a good example of how I want to do this series so it looks very realistic. Let's make it a little bit flatter. Do you want to come down? There we go. So we go straight there. There we go. And then we can smooth it out. There we go. So there, I can wheel the logs down the hill. That's a bit superfluous, that piece of dirt. So let's get rid of that. And so are you connecting? You are connecting. So from a tendrils point of view, I think it went all the way up the road and connected over here. So yeah, here's our next one. So let's rename this to Bergen. Yeah, Bergen will do. So where's the town of Bergensie? So this guy, we're going to rename this to Bergen. And let's get a line done. New line from here down to here. And so this is going to be from Bergen Lumber. No, logs. And this is going to be Bergen Lumber Mill. Spell it right. And we'll call this the Tram Cargo Bergen Logs. And let's get something bought. So this takes, oh, it takes passengers this time. I thought we might be in the era where this takes cargo, but we're not there yet. Well, what we're gonna have to do is just wait for that to turn up as a technology and just do it as roads instead, I guess, as like cargo instead. Let's get a this bulldozer is to save our money, so we don't have to pay the upkeep cost on it. And we'll get this in town, somewhere where it doesn't deform the road too much. If I hold down C and stop the snapping, let's see if we can get that. Yeah, that works right. There, enjoy that in your back road. And we'll get 10 of these and put them on there. Have to rename that. This is going to be the road. So I'm not sure because of that whether the this guy thinks it's getting something. It does. 375 and 225. Okay, so this thing's producing 500 or 600. Wow, okay, that's huge. So that's going to be really busy. So that's going to keep those two going. In light that that's like that, let's just duple them. That's going to easily use that many up. And that can slowly go up the hill. Good example where we want to get time to go forward. Talking about time, let's crank it a bit. So we don't want to stay in the 1860s too long. And let's get things moving. While we're here, is there anything we can do from an asset point of view? Just look at those buildings again. Let's put down a nice little set of buildings out here. Try to make it so it's on the same level as the road. So let's put that right there. And yeah, I just want to sprinkle these around when we're doing this. And let's put this church down. There's a whole lot of chapels, and most of this stuff is so you can build your own church. All this other stuff. Basically, this first two are just the prefabs. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. You know what? Should we just... Nah. I was going to say, should we leave it hidden in the forest? But no, we won't. So let's put down a large one. And which way is the front? Which way would you walk in? I think down those trees. Yeah, down those trees seems to be the front. So let's put that right, say right there. And so it didn't get rid of the ground. It did a non-terrain modification. So let's flatten some of that out. And then we'll give it just some nice grass, I guess. Make this, whoops, wrong button. We want, do we want this one? Oh no, I need to get the, so I'm trying to get rid of the grass, but it doesn't seem like I can. Yeah. That's fine. It looks good there. We will get rid of that tree though. That's growing through the building. Same with that one. But there you go. So let's add a couple more trees along the side here. Just put down a couple there and yeah, a couple there. Yeah, I want to definitely spend a fair bit of time on beautification as we do this. Let's actually get some down here as well. There we go. Cool. So they're going to start making something and they're going to start making something. So we've got planks and paper. Is there anything obvious around here? I don't think there is. So I think we'll wait until we've got some type of rail line going before those things leave here. All right, so what's next? This guy needs wheat, but I don't see any inbound wheat, so that's kind of out of the equation. How about we do a mine? So we've got two here. The problem with mines is just capacity. We want to put a lot through it. It would be lovely to have a cargo. Oh, that would look so good with a cargo tram. Yeah, let's get this going as a road and then we'll change it to a tram. I'm actually going to upgrade it right now. So I remember that, hey, I want to make this a tram in the future. Because I think that would look fantastic going up and down. Let's see if we can squeeze in a depot. Can we make it longer? Yeah, that's good. So, do we want to try to get it on this wall? If we make it short... Yeah, I'm worried about the deformation here, but as long as we get it quite close... where was that spot? I saw it. Yeah, I think that's good. Right up there against the face of it. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Let's change this one to also have that entrance that is country old. Yeah, country old. It's a dirt road into dirt road. So that goes from that end, from the stone quarry. So yeah, it'll come up here and then onto here. Let's definitely do some painting before I forget. We want something dirty. Is that dirt? Yeah, so let's dirtify some of that. Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, the texturing on this is already gorgeous, so I don't need to change too many things. And then they'll come down the mountain and they'll have to unload over here. I think we'll try to keep this farm going the way it is. It does look like there's a bit of a slope here, so I am inclined not to go that side. What I might do is like we'll come in like here and have it backing onto this thing. So we'll place it and then we'll change the roads. So let's change the default so that the connection is old, and we'll make it a little bit longer on the ground still. We'll put the tram on it because we're going to do that in the future. And let's rotate this so it's parallel, and then we'll modify the road. Yeah, actually, we can play with the angles of the entrances and exits. So we can do this. Yeah, that works really good. And then from a street point of view, we can just do a nice straight street. You know what? We can probably change this one. So this is the out. We could probably change that to 45 degrees too. Yeah. And then we can go out that way. I love that mod. I think it just is gorgeous. I'm trying to make not too much curvature here. I mean, it's going to wiggle across a bit, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, we really need one-way roads. That would make that a lot cleaner. And yeah, because this is so dirty, once again, let's put down some stuff. Make it kind of obvious that we're offloading some dirt. Bring down strength again. Yeah, when you're doing detailing, what you do is you kind of like put down like a 75-50% first, and that will leave a couple of tufts of grass and stuff. And then you come back with a layer that's like in this range, 25, 30, 40%. And then just do one last layer on top of something else, just to give it a little bit more variety. And then to finish it off, use some grass assets. So where is grass? Grass. Is grass a texture? I always forget how grass works. Yeah, it must be a painting tool. So yeah, grass. So let's do a little bit more grass. Bring some of that back. Get some color across it. So there we go. And we could put in some type of asset. I don't know if I've got anything that it kind of represents. I mean, we've got some rocks. The in-game rocks are kind of rubbish. They don't come out too well. And then some train stuff. This is all just all the train stuff. What I was kind of looking for is like a pile of rocks or something. I mean, we might have to do some searching for that. I don't think I've got anything that kind of falls into that category. Yeah, it's a little bit too early to put down. Well, we can put some workers. We have some guys just standing around, talking about what's going to happen today. These guys are definitely much more appropriate to put onto stations and stuff like that. And yeah, you can have some of this stuff. So yeah, these guys are talking about shoveling the stuff. And yeah, you can have fun doing this type of detailing a lot. So we can go box styles. Looks like every time you place it, it changes style. That's really cool. I like that. So yeah, and so they can talk about whatever they're talking about. Yeah, we'll have to find some new assets to help us do that type of thing. All right, let's find a local town. I suppose this guy could be our local town. This one, cool. This one, Starwell. The town of Startwell. We're starting the game well. And let's get a new line going. From here down to here. Nice and wiggly. And so this is going to be the Startwell. What do they call it? They're called rocks, but stone. Quarry. Really? And then this is going to be Startwell. Well, it's called construction materials, but I'm going to call it bricks. Startwell bricks. There we go. And then, yeah, we need to put some people on that. Let's put them. Yeah, is there much left over on this corner? Yeah, I think we can put the car place actually way out here. We'll put it actually associated with this place. And yeah, I don't think I've got any more mods like this, do I? No, I don't. I've just got this one and only base game one. It gets a bit boring, but it is what it is. It's what we've got. I'm trying to make sure that road doesn't deform too much. I might put it. Yeah, I'm going to replace it with the tram thing. So I'm thinking about where I'm going to put the tram thing. So for now, I'm going to put that there, and then the tram thing will either go next to it or replace this. So yeah, let's start with 10 and put them on here. We didn't give this a name. It's going to be Startwell Road Cargo Startwell Stone. And there we go. These guys. Oh, careful for the bear. you didn't see anything with that. That's a cool tool tip. So let's have a look at our initial lines, see how they're going. Where are they? So L. So if you press L for lines and then hit numpad number 1, as in the extra keys on your keyboard on the right hand side, that turns off the white layer. Well, actually it turns on the contour lines layer, but then when you toggle it again, it just leaves you with the lines. So you get to see the map, but it adds all of these as an overlay. So it's a good way of seeing what you've got. So how are we going, guys? Is this going to be our very first one? I think it is our very first one. So we're doing a rate of 63, so barely touching the surface. They're trying to send 600, and they're trying to receive 300 of it, and then these guys are trying to receive 250. Yeah, so about half each. So yeah, these guys could definitely be doubled. I'm just going to double these up to 40. Actually, you know what? 60, 80, 100. And let's just get some money rolling. Way too many. And that's why we want to get that time rolling forward. Oh, we got our first Great Western Railroad, a 060. And that might be the good indication of where we should stop this episode and start the next one as we transition to trains. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, all that cool YouTube stuff if you want to watch as we have fun generating a Great Western Railway based train network on this beautiful Transportvania map. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time as we definitely have fun doing all of this Transportvania stuff. Thanks everybody, we'll see you next time.